This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce to you the incredible new Quattro roulette system by Juan. He said this is the only way to play if you want to consistently win, and I can't wait to share it with you. What we're going to be doing with this system is looking at the last two numbers and the double streets, and the 28 and the 28 and the 30, the last three spins, and the 29 are all in the same double street. So we're going to go to the next number after that, which is the 10. And we're going to make sure not to bet on those. So we're going to have a $5 bet on the double streets except for the 29 and the 10. So let's go ahead and do that as the first step here. So let's go ahead and place the rest of the bets. And we have 4 double streets out there, and that's why it's called the Quattro. And let's go ahead and spin. This is a $20 total bet. All right, we're off and running. I can't wait to see how much money we make with this in the next 15 minutes. And that's a nice $10 win to start there. And now you can see the last two are the 13 and the 28. So we're going to go ahead and leave those out. So let's go ahead and do that. And here we go. We have our 4 double streets. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. And that is a 24 black. And that is a $10 win. We're up $20. So now we're looking at the 24 and the 13. And we're going to leave those ones out. So let's go ahead and do that. Nope, we accidentally put one on the 13 there. Let's go ahead and take that out. And then we'll put one right here and here. And we left out the 24 and the 13. Again, that's a $20 total bet now. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. That is a 15 black. And we lost that one. And if we lose, what we do is that we go ahead and go up a unit. And let's go ahead and go from 5 to 10. And then now we're at $40 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin. And we're going to keep track of our session profit with this one, which is the highest level of profit since we've started. And that is a nice $20 win there. You see we're up $20. We're just going to keep the bet the same. However, now we're going to move it to where it needs to be. So let's take out that one that hit last, which has $10 on it. And then we'll go ahead and move that so that the 32 and the 15 are not included. Okay, now we have a $40 bet and we're spinning again. And here we go. You notice we did not reset because we were not in session profit, and that's a 21 red. That's a nice $20 win. Now we're up $40, and we can go back to our original $5 bet on each. We're going to leave out the 21 and the 32 this time. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we have our 4 double streets, which is the Quattro by Juan. And here we go. That's a 28 black. That's a nice win. We're currently up $50 now. So we'll take out that one that hit last, the 28. And we'll add in, looks like the 3136. And 3134, however you want to call it. And then let's go ahead and spin again. But that double street is now added. And that's a 20 black. Okay, we didn't get the win there. So we're just going to go up a unit. So we're going to go from 5 to 10. And then spin. And you can see since we bet 20, we were at 50. So we need more than $50 before we reset. So let's go ahead and spin here and see what we get. That's a 27 red. Okay, we lost. So we go up another unit. So we're going to go to 15 each. Okay, and then spin. Again, we need more than $50 profit because we need new session profit to restart. That's a 4 black. There's a nice win. And you can see we're not at $50 profit. So the bets stay the same. However, we'll take out the one that hit last that had 15 on it. And we're going to move that over here to the 1922. And then that leaves the 4 and the 27 double streets uncovered. Let's go ahead and spin and see if we can get back in new session profit with the Quattro by Juan. And that is a 9 red. That's a nice $30 win. We're not in new session profit, so the bet stays the same. Let's go ahead and remove the 9 that just hit. Okay, and then we need to add that to the 25-28 and spin. We're still at a $60 total bet with the Quattro by Juan, and that's a 32 red. That's a nice win. Now we are in session profit at $80. So we go back to $5 bets, leaving out the 32 and the 9. So let's go ahead and do that. And then spin again with the Quattro. And this is by Juan. That is a 23 red. That's a nice win. We're up $90. Let's go ahead and remove that one that hit last. And then we'll go ahead and add in the 710 at $5. And now we're still at our base level of 20. And here we go. That's a 29 black. That's a $10 win. We're up $100. Let's go ahead and remove that 29. And then we'll add in the 3134. Okay, and there we are. There's our $20 bet, 4 double streets. And here we go. Might hit the 0 here. Oh, nope, it hit a 14 red. And that's a nice win. So we're up $110. Let's go ahead and remove that 14 that just hit. And we'll add it back in on the 1922, leaving the 1429 double streets uncovered. And let's spin. And I'm trying to get back to health here before we leave for Las Vegas on Sunday. Hopefully I will be better by the time we leave. But I'm doing a little bit better, guys. We lost that one, so let's go up a unit. And every time you lose, what you need to do is see, we lost 20 bucks there, so that means we were up 110. So we need more than $110 before we reset. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 36 red. That's a $20 win. We're up at 110, not in new session profit. We're just back to profit. So now we take out that one that just hit, and then we add it back in right here on the 25.28. And then spin. And here we go. And when I'm in Las Vegas, I'll be at Resorts World in Circa. And that is a $40 loss. So let's go ahead and increase those again. Remember, we were at 110, so we need more than that before we reset. And now we're at a $60 total bet. All right, here we go. That's a 16 red. That's another loss. Okay, so we're getting repeating double streets. That's okay. It happens. Let's go ahead and add another unit. Okay, now we're at 20, 20, 20, and 20, or an $80 total bet. Now it requires patience. And that's a 5 red. There we go. We finally got a win. We're up $50, not in session profit. So we're going to go ahead and remove the 5 that just hit. And you see it had 20 on it. So now we're going to put that 20 over here on the 3134. Still have an $80 bet out there. And again, we need more than 110 profit before resetting. That's a 6 black. Another loss. Okay, so we're going to increase again. Now we're at 25 each, or 100 total. And let's go ahead and spin and see if we can get some wins here. That's a 36 red. That's a good win. Let's remove that one that just hit last. You can see they have 25 each on them. Oops, let me take that out. There we go. And then we need to add that 25 back in on the 1316. Okay, 110 total bet. Let's spin and see if we can get a win right here. That's a 21 red. That's a nice win. We're still not in session profit. So we're going to go ahead now and remove that bet. We'll take out the 21. That was at $25. And we'll add in the 1-4. And again, the last two numbers are out of the double streets. Or the double streets that have those numbers are out. That's a 19 red. That's another repeat of a double street. That's not what we wanted, so let's increase from 25 to 30. And spin, then we'll check our balance after this spin right here. All right, that's a 00. We don't want that. And more losses, so let's increase again. This is what requires patience and a bankroll, which we'll talk about here in a second. We're at 140 total bet, and then we'll check our balance. And let's get a win first. That's a 26 black. That's a $70 win, but we're nowhere near our session profit. So we're going to remove that last one that hit, which was at 35. And then we're going to go ahead and put that back in on the 3134. That's a 140 total bet. Let's get another win right here. Hopefully no more repeaters. And that's a 9 red. That's a nice $70 win. We're at -10, so we'll take that one out. And again, it's at 35, and we're going to add back in this one right here, and that leaves the last two numbers double streets out. And here we go. All right, that's a 28 black. We lost again, so we go up again. And again, this is why you have to have patience when you're doing this, because we're not doubling or tripling the bet. We're just going up one unit at a time, which is much safer. I do recommend a $2,000 bankroll with this one. And he said you can do it with 1,000. So you can try it with 1,000. That's the way Juan plays it. But if you want to be real safe with this, I would have 2,000. I just like a bigger bankroll. It's a personal preference. And let's go ahead and take that last one out. And they're at 40 right now. So we're going to add in the 710. And then spend 160 total bet. And again, it's much safer going up one unit than doubling or tripling. And that's a 28 black. But we lost again. We keep getting repeaters. You see there's two 28s in the last three spins. So let's go ahead now and we'll increase again. And again, this is, he recommends a $1,000 bankroll. I think probably two just to be careful. But you let me know as you test this out. That's a 22 black. That's a $90 win. We're at minus 140. And let's go ahead and remove the 22. All right. Then we're going to put our 45 back in over here on the 1-4. Make sure that's right. Yep, they're all at 45, 180 total bet. And basically you're just waiting for things to come back your way because you do need multiple wins to reset. There's a good one, $90 win. We're at minus 50. We'll go ahead and remove that one at 45, and then we'll add it back in right here on the 25, 28. 180 total bet again, and let's get another win with the Quattro by Juan. And don't hit the 0. Oh no. Michael at my casino, local casino, would love that, but it didn't work very well for us right there. And that's 50 each now, and we're at minus 230. Let's go ahead and spend. Now we really have to be patient and use that bankroll to our advantage. That's a 10 black. That's a $100 win. We're at minus 130. Let's take that out. And again, we're at 50 now. So we're going to put that 50 on the 1922, leaving out the last two that hit. And here we go. Let's make a nice comeback here. That's a 19 red. There we go. Now we're talking. We're at minus 30. We're coming back. Let's go ahead and take this one out. Okay, there we go. And you can see these have 50 on them. So we're going to put this one back in here on the 31, 34 for $50, which gets us a $200 total bet. And we've been patient, and hopefully it's going to pay off for us right here. That's a 25 red. We got the win. Now we're back up 70. We're getting closer to session profit, real close to being fact, and we're going to take out the 25. And remember, we were at 50, so the $50 bet is going to go on the 710. Because we leave the last two out, and we might be in session profit if we get the win right here. Let's see. That's a 35 black. Okay, so we were patient, and it paid off. Now we're in new session profit at $170. Now we're going to start back over, leaving out the 35 and the 25. We're at $5 each. We're back at base level. And here we go again. Let's see what we get here with the Quattro by Juan. And that is a 36 red. That's a repeater double street. So let's go ahead and increase those from 5 to 10. We're not doubling though, just going up a unit. On the first one, it looks like a double. And that's a 20 black. That's a nice win. Remember that we're not in session profit. But we will be soon. So let's go ahead and remove that last one that hit at 10, and then we'll add in this one right here, the 25-28, and spin. If we get a win here, we'll be in new session profit. Here we go. That's a 32 red. That's a loss, though. We're going to have to go ahead and increase again. But again, much safer by going up just $5 or one unit at a time. This is a $60 total bet. That's a 3 red. and that's a $30 win. We're at 160, still not in new session profit, so we'll remove that 1-4, and then let's see here. We have $15 on each, so we'll be adding that in on the 1922 and keeping the bet the same. Here we go. Excuse me. That is a 4 black, and we lost again, up 100 now. Let's go ahead and increase those. Okay, and then spin it, $80 total bet. Here we go. That's a 16 red. I think that's a win. $40 win, up 140, and not in new session profit. So we'll remove the 16, and it was at 20 bucks, and that means the 20 is going to go over here on 31.34. That gives us an $80 total bet, and let's spin. That's a 36 red. That's a win. We're up $180, and the 15 minutes is up. I hope you really enjoyed the Quattro by Juan. This might be one I try in Las Vegas this week. Looks pretty good to me, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments as usual, and send those systems to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. And now it is time for the new blast from the past video for the day. I hope you really enjoy it. Let's get started.
This is the Roulette Master, and if you want to join a community of people that love to play roulette and get better at it every single day of the week, then go ahead and hit the red subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Also ring that bell for notifications because I have new content that releases every single day of the week at 8 a.m. And if you want to join the TRN fan club, just like a lot of others have, it's only 99 cents a month, and you can click on it with the link in the description. And I really appreciate everyone's support of the channel. Now let's go ahead and get started with today's video. This one was sent in by one of my subscribers, Raphael, who sent in some really good stuff in the past. And he says this system is so good that casinos actually hate when he uses it because he's been winning so much money. So that's pretty awesome. Let's see what he's been up to. And I can't wait to share with you this amazing strategy. So here we go. We're going to start with $10 units, and we're going to be on second column and second 12. And then we're going to spin, and I'll show you what the progression looks like and cover everything. So let's just go through it, and that is a loss. So we're going to start by increasing from 10 to 20 on both of those. And then we're going to spin. Currently, we're down $20 after that first loss with the 0. And that's a 21 red. Okay, so let's check and see where we're at. And we're still at 0, so we're going to keep increasing. So you see we had 20. Now we're going to be on 30. And I'll explain to you why I'm still increasing even after we got a win there here in a second. And let's see what we get here. Okay, so now we are up $30. We're going to go back to 10. And that's second 12 and second column. So we reached session profit levels. And here we go again. And we're going to go from 10 to 20 after that loss. And spin. So very important to remember, now we were up $30. That's our new session profit level. And that's a 9 red. So now we're going to go from 20 to 30 and spin. Again, we're on second 12, second column for $10. I'm sorry, for, oh man, that's a 0. I'll cover that in a second. So that was at 30 each. So now we're going to 40 each. And you can see currently we're minus 90, but don't worry about it. This will all work its way out, and I'll show you how he uses this system. So that's a 2 black. That's a win. Let's see where we're at. So we're minus 50. That was at 40 each. Now we're going to 50. And let's go ahead and spin. Let's see what we get here. That's a 4 black. That is a loss, so now we're going to go to 60 and spin. All right. That's a 20 black. Okay, that's a win. So that's a new session profit level. Now we're up $90 and we go back to 10. So here we go. Remember, our new session profit level is $90. Very important. Okay, and since we won 10 there, now we have a new session profit at 100, so we go back to 10 again. Okay, so now we need to remember we're at 100, very important, and let's see what we get here. That's a 9 red. Okay, we lost, so now we'll go from 10 to 20. And one important thing is here, we're not only increasing on losses, we're also increasing on wins until we reach session profit. So let's check our balance, and we're not back up to 110 again, so we're still increasing. So let's go ahead and add 10 to each of those. Now we have 30 on each. And here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a 3 red. That's a loss. We'll go to 40 now. And just so you know, those of you that like to play dollar units, you can do this with dollar units as well. And I'll cover the bankroll you're going to need for that, for dollars and $10 units alike. And let's see what we get here. That's a $40 win, but we're not in session profits, so we increase again. But we keep increasing whether we win or lose until we reach session profit. So here we go. That's a 13 black. Okay, I believe we're in session profit again. We're up 130, so we go back to 10. All right, and again, you can do this with dollars if you like. You could do it with $5, whatever unit size fits your budget. That's a 16 red. And that established a new session high of 140. So now we go back to 10. And yeah, Raphael says that the casinos don't like you using this because he wins so much money doing it. So I can't wait to play this in a longer session here and see how that works out. So now we're going to go from 10 to 20. And let's see what we get here. That's 11 black. Okay, that is a win. And we are right where we were at 140, so let's go ahead and keep adding one. It's up to you guys if you want to, if you get right back to where you were before, if you want to restart, or if you want to establish a new session profit. But as long as it's close to session profit, I'm okay with it. And let's see what we get here. That's a 17 black. Okay, we got a win. So that's session profit. We're up 260 now. So that's definitely back to 10 now. So let's place our $10 bets again because we're in session profit. Again, we'll check our balance. Currently, we're up $260. And here we go. That's a 4 black. Okay, we're going to go from 10 to 20. Again, on wins and losses, we're increasing 1 unit till we establish new session profit levels. So here we go. It's a 14 red. And let's see what we have now. Now we're up 320, so that's a new session profit level. We're going to go back to 10. And make sure you hang in there for the rest of the video. I'm going to cover how much money you need to play these systems, or this system. And there's another session profit with the $10 win there. Now we're up 330, and that's probably the most important thing to remember with this is where your session profit levels are. And if you get close to them when you're doing really well like we're doing now, then definitely don't be afraid to start over. So there's a new session profit. We're at 340 now, and we're going to have 10 on each. All right, here we go. All right, that's a 33 black. Okay, that's a loss, so we're going to go to 20 now on each. And let's spin. Let's see how we get here. 00. That's a loss, but just like any other loss, so we'll go 20 to 30. again, we're going up whether we win or lose until we establish a new session profit level. That's a 14 red. Okay, that's 120. We're up to 400 now, so that's a new session profit level. We'll restart. 10 on each. And here we go. 23 red. That is a win, so that's new session profit. We're up 440 now. And especially when you're doing as well as we're doing right now, if you're within $20 of session profit when you get on a little bit of a bad streak, go ahead and restart, just like some of the other systems. There's a win, so that's new session profit at 450. And here we go. This is really working well, Raphael. Thank you for sending this one in. That's a 19 red. That is a win. That's new session profit, 460. So remember that. And here we go. That's a 19 red. All right. That's new session profit, 470. So here we go. All right, and last night I had a fantastic night at the casino with Joe Kine's new system from yesterday. And if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and watch it because it is incredible. And okay, we have new session profit there. We're at 480, and let's spin. I'm definitely going to use that one again tonight as well, and I'm going to give this a shot. This looks really good. So we lost there. We'll go 10 to 20, but let's check our session profit level. We're at 460, and remember that. And here we go at 20 each. And that's 21 red. Okay, that's a win. So we're up 480. That's a new session profit. Let's go back to 10. Or again, if it even gets within $20 when you're doing this well, go ahead and restart it. And that's 25 red. That's a loss, so we'll go to 20 and spin. All right, let's see what we get here. That's a 22 black. That's a win. Okay, we're 480. That's close enough. Let's go ahead and start over. So again, that's just one rule I use for all these session profit systems when you're doing really well. If you're within $20 once you're way up, reset. So now we're going to go from 10 to 20 and spin. All right. It's a 30 red. That's a loss. So now we'll go from 20 to 30 and spin. Then we'll check our balance, and we're going to keep increasing whether we win or lose till we're in session profit. So that's an 8 black. All right, 450. So we're going to go to 40 now. It's not quite there, but you could restart there if you wanted to for sure. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a 1 red. That's a loss, so we'll go from 40 to 50 and spin. Here we go. Come on, let's see if we can get a win. That's 17 black. That is a win. That's a new session profit. We're up 570, so we go back to 10. Here we go. Remember, we're up 570, and we're off and running again. That's a 27 red. So we'll go from 10 to 20. Again, we would do that whether we win or lose unless we're in session profit. But of course, if we won on the first spin, that is session profit. So then you would restart. So that's a 24 black. That is a win. And let's go ahead and restart. And here we go. All right. This is working great, Raphael. Thank you for sending this in. Man, really good. Okay, now we're going to go from 10 to 20. And again, for those of you that don't have this much to bet with, and I'm going to go over the bankrolls here in a second, just use dollar units or $5 units, and just adjust the bankroll accordingly, which I'll cover here shortly. And let's restart. That's close enough. And again, I kind of make that adjustment as I get further and further ahead to be a little bit safer. But that's a 14 red. That's a win. And that's new session profit. We're at 610 now. Fantastic. Wow, what a system. Okay, so let's go ahead and cover the bankrolls now. First, let me place this next bet, though. That's a 21. Okay, that's new session profit. We're at 620. So this is a $2,000 bankroll system for $10 units. So that'd be a $200 bankroll for dollar units. And obviously, if you have more than that, that's even better because you're not going to reach the table maximum with this one, which is huge. And we won that one. We're at 630. So again, you're not going to reach the table maximum. So the only way you lose is if you run out of bankroll. And so have a large bankroll and lots of patience when they start going up. That's another win. Every time we get a win on the first one, that's a new session profit. So now we're up 640, and let's place our bet. Here we go. Let's see what we get here. 33 black. That's a loss, so we'll go from 10 to 20. But again, even if we, if we win on the first one, we do restart. So, but further down, if you win or lose, you increase until you're in session profit. Okay, we're at 640 still, so we'll restart. And let's spin. All right. That's a 30 red. That's a loss, so we'll go from 10 to 20. And spin. Here we go. 35 black. That's a win. We're still at 640, so let's restart. And we'll spin again. Again, if you get back to where you were before, go ahead and restart, especially if you are in profit. At the beginning, we didn't do that just because we were trying to get a little profit going. But once you get ahead, if you get back after some losses back to where you were at session profit, or even around $20, go ahead and restart. It's just a safe way to play. And here we go. It's an 8 black. You can see, then you can recover it right there. Of course, we're still at 640, so we've been kind of just staying where we're at for the last minute or so, but that's okay. We're up $640, so let's see what we get here. That's a 28 black, and then we're going to go from 10 to 20 now. And let's see what we get here. That's a 2 black. That's a win. We're still at 640. That's okay. Let's restart. And better safe than sorry when you're playing roulette, and protect what you have going on. So that's a loss. We'll go 10 to 20. All right, here we go. It's a 27 red. Okay, now we'll go 20 to 30. And let's see what we get here. That's a 15 black. Okay, that's a win. And we're still going to go up on this one. So we're going to go from 30 to 40. Now we have an $80 bet. Again, we're increasing whether we win or lose unless we're close to session profit or at it. Okay, we got the win. So now we're up 770. That's definitely a new session profit level. And here we go again. Fantastic. Thank you for sending this in again, Raphael. This has been really incredible. And that's zero. Whenever you're up like $750 and you hit a zero, then sometimes it's time to just say, you know what, let's take a $20 loss and let's just take the $750 and go home with it. This is another lesson I want to tell you about just from playing a long time. Sometimes a really bad string of numbers can start with a zero. So if you're up a lot and you get a zero and it's about time to go, just take a $10 or $20 loss and take all the money that you won and go home with it. Be smart. And because can you imagine how you'd feel if that just went like 20, 30 losses in a row? Even though that'd be hard to do, you never know what can happen. A lot of times, really bad streaks start with a zero. So let's take this $750 and just enjoy the nice win. And I really like this system from Raphael. It's fantastic. Again, $2,000 bankroll. Increase whether you win or lose by $10 on second 12 or second column, and basically until you're in session profit. And then when you get up a lot, look at that right there. See what I mean? It just went 0, double 0. Not that we wouldn't have won and got it coming back here, but I hope that's a good lesson. To teach you that a lot of times zeros can start a bad session, and sometimes when you hit a zero like that, take a $10 or $20 loss if you're up a lot, and if you want to keep playing, just sit out for 5 minutes and wait and see what happens, and then restart. So definitely something I do when I start seeing zeros when I'm doing really well. I'll take a break, go get a drink, come back, and restart. And sometimes you'll see that you would have lost a bunch of money, and it's a good feeling. So just trust your own instincts, and I really hope you enjoyed this video today. This is a really good system from Raphael. And if you haven't joined the TRM fan club yet, there's a lot of you that have, and I really appreciate it. It's only 99 cents a month, and you can sign up for it with the link in the description. Also, you can click join on the homepage. And if you're having trouble navigating the channel, there's a playlist you can click on coming up here. There's a top 10 and a top 5 playlist with the most viewed videos. And hope that helps some of you navigate through the channel better. And also, if you haven't used the polls, if you want to check out the polls on the community page, that would be fantastic. It helps me get to know you guys a lot better. And I think it gets you guys to get a better idea of who you're talking with in the comments section as well. I think it's fantastic how you guys are talking back and forth. And there's so many smart people in this community. It's just really, really cool to get these systems sent in every day and to see your guys' comments back and forth between each other, testing each other and helping each other out. That's the coolest thing is when you guys help each other out. I think that's fantastic. So keep it up. That's what makes this channel great is you guys, this community. And this is the Roulette Master. And have a great day, everybody.